Hi readers, welcome back. Today we are going to talk finding main idea when reading a nonfiction text. This is really important work and it's really difficult work. So we're going to work through some steps together so you can find the main idea when you're reading a nonfiction text on your own. The reason why readers find the main idea of a text is that then we can understand the point the author is trying to make, the reason they wrote that text. And we can go in some simple steps to help make that work easier. So I've been reading this book, Earth, by Elaine Landau, and it's a true book, so it's got a lot of facts in it. And I want to show you how I did some of this main idea work in this book. So if the text is shorter, like an article that doesn't have headings, you might find just one overall main idea. If the text is longer, which a lot of you are reading longer text, they have subheadings, chapters, then you have to do a little extra work by finding main ideas of those sections. So if you know how to find the main idea of a chapter or section, you can find one main idea of article. So we're going to do a little harder work today. So here are the steps that I went through to find the main idea in one of the chapters that I was reading. So first, I'm going to read the heading, okay, of the sections. Then I'm going to read that section. So I read the heading, I read the section, and then I think to myself, I pull all the important information together and come up with one sentence that's the main idea of that section, okay? Once I have the main idea of each section in a chapter, then I can take all of those main ideas, put them together to come up with one main idea for the whole text, okay, or the whole chapter. Okay, so let me show you how to do this work. So I was reading chapter 4, and chapter 4 is called Conditions for Life. And I read the first section. The first section is called Water World. So it's not an explicit heading. An explicit heading would tell me exactly what it wants to say. Water World is implicit. I have to figure out what that means. So I'm thinking it means like a world full of water. Water World kind of sounds like an amusement park or something like that. But after I read it, I came up with the main idea: water is important for life to survive on Earth. So that was my main idea of that section. So let me show you. So I put it on a sticky in my book, and then I'm going to put it up here for you, okay? So you can see I sticky noted right here the main idea of that section. So the next section is called Not Too Hot or Too Cold. So again, I have to infer what that section means. I then read the section and I determined that the main idea for not too hot and not too cold is that Earth's position to the sun is key. It's really important. So I'm going to put that main idea right next to the other section from that chapter. Okay. Then the next section is called What a Gas, like exclamation point. And I determined, I've got my main idea right here, that Earth's gases make it possible for life to exist. So I'm going to add that to my chart. Earth's gases make it possible for life to exist. And then I have one more section in this chapter, and it's called Sunscreen. And so again, there's like kind of a play on words. I have to figure it out. And so after I read it, I determined that the main idea is Earth's atmosphere is like a protective covering. That's what they mean by sunscreen. So I wrote it in my book, put it on a sticky note so you can see it. Okay. So I have the main idea for each section. Now I'm going to come up with the main idea for that entire chapter, okay? So I take all of my section main ideas, I add them up, and then I say, how can I put this all in a one sentence main idea? Okay, so they were again, water is important for life to survive on Earth. Earth's position to the sun is key. Earth's gases make it possible for life to exist. And Earth's atmosphere is like a protective covering. Okay, so with all of that, I came up with a main idea statement. Earth has specific conditions needed for life to survive. Okay, so did you see how I did that? So when we're thinking of water, the atmosphere, the gases, those are all the conditions that are needed for life to survive on Earth. So I added up all of these smaller main ideas in each section to get to the main idea of the chapter, okay? Now, you could always go and pull all the chapter main ideas and come up with a main idea for the entire book. There are different ways, different places that you can find the main idea. If it's a shorter text, you might just have one. If it's a longer text, you might use the system that I showed you, the strategy that I showed you. Come up with section, main ideas, add them all up to come to the chapter main idea. Okay, this is hard work, but I know you can do it.